Hi friends, and welcome to the kitchen. This is the third episode in the meal prep / batch cooking series. For me personally, those kind of episodes are most relevant because they actually show what I'm cooking to eat stress-free throughout the week. There are three things that I'm typically optimizing for. This is iron, protein, and also variety. And the benefit of batch cooking is that you can scale it up and cook for 2, 3, 4, 5 people. I'm cooking only for myself, so for a family of one, and my personal target is consistency. What I want is to eliminate any decision making throughout the week, what I'm going to eat. I just want to combine the ingredients that I like. And this week I'm not going to be counting my macros. However, if you're someone who does track your macros, batch cooking and meal prep is a great alternative for you because you can actually see and feel the food that you're cooking. You can count the calories for your own recipes. I'm using the Chronometer app, not affiliated with them anyhow. However, I'm really enjoying their product. And on this note, let's get into this week's cooking.
Batch cooking benefits from a plan. So we're going to start with the pinto beans because I'm going to use them in another dish. And meanwhile, I'm going to slice my potatoes to roast them. This is going to optimize the use of my time in the kitchen. And after I'm done with the pinto beans, I'm going to proceed with some chickpeas. Those are cooked, and I'm going to send the chickpeas now into the Instant Pot for around 30 minutes as well. Some salt, add some water.
When I was posting this stew on Instagram, I actually said that this was a Colombian stew. No, this is Chilean stew. I learned this recipe from the Forks Over Knives culinary course, and since then it's been one of my staples.
I'm going to try my dicing device today. Oh, it makes me cry, it makes me cry. It makes me cry. The magic machine. And it works.
Run the knife through the onions.
Okay, let's crush it.
And crush and roughly chop 3 garlic cloves.
You can use butternut squash, but I haven't pumpkin. Finally, skin is off and time to dice it. This is what we are working with today. 300 grams of squash, and I have 2 cups of the pinto beans already cooked. 3.5 cups of corn. Medium heat. And starting with the onion, we are waiting for it to caramelize a little bit. And we are going to add the garlic. The difference between onions and garlic is that garlic gets burnt faster, so you would like to just saute it for around 30 seconds. So let's go. Now everything else goes into the pot, starting with the pinto beans, squash, corn.
At first, you doubt the butternut squash or the squash or pumpkin. What is it doing there? However, once it's cooked, it sort of melts into the dish and gives it this buttery, creamy texture. And the taste of it is somewhat sweet.
Some water, 2 cups, cook for 25 minutes. Put it on with an open lid for around 10 minutes.
Add salt and black pepper to taste. You can also do the taste test. And optionally, vegan cheese. Allow it to melt under the lid for around 3 to 10 minutes. I would highly recommend adding basil towards the end of the cooking process. Basil does pack this punch of freshness, so don't skip this step. If you don't have a basil, just go get some.
Folding it. It smells really nice.
Once the stew is cooked, keep it under the lid on a stove. You can remove it from the heated surface. However, it will continue cooking in this environment under the lid, and it will create even more creaminess to the dish. I'm going to be using this stew as a source of proteins, of course, vitamins A, and overall it's a very nice, pleasant dish, especially with some quinoa, some parsley, and some other grain. The advantage of having such a dip as a hummus is that if you're on a plant-based diet and you are in the beginning of your journey, you may have some bloating when you eat legumes. In this case, when you eat something that is a little bit more on the processed side, so you blend the chickpeas instead of eating them in their whole form, so your digestive tract has to do less work. Adding such dips as hummus is a really easy way to introduce legumes into your meal, and they do have quite a lot of benefits health-wise.
3 cups of chickpeas, 1/3 of a cup of tahini, a little bit of salt, and we are ready to blend it, adding a little bit of water as we go. Some iced water is going to help with the fluffiness. This is the texture that I really like and enjoy.
The advantage of a homemade hummus, like with any other meal, is that you can control for oil or oiliness in general and the acidity. I'm not using olive oil in here. However, if you do prefer, you can use extra virgin olive oil. Add it 1 tablespoon by 1 tablespoon. I would say between 1 and 3 tablespoons per 3 cups of chickpeas. Do the taste test. Taste test is what's going to save you from a lot of culinary failures.
Let the chop begin, chopping off any black parts, any not so pretty parts. Так. Up. And of course they should not be perfect, but they should be of approximately the same size to guarantee the evenness when they get cooked. 200 degrees Celsius or 390 Fahrenheit.
Do not skip the salt. Salt is going to elevate the flavor of your potatoes. Any spices that you're adding may still not do the job without the salt. There is a reason why we like salt. It's connected to the natural saltiness level of our saliva. Once the saltiness of our food drops below those levels, we perceive food as bland. Once it's too much, we perceive it as oversalted.
Smoked paprika, garlic powder. Massage the spices in and spread on the tray evenly. Roast for around 15 minutes or till browned. This is one of the best inventions, like for real. This is a silicone container. Silicone food containers are great at saving fridge space. There are a lot of them on Amazon. Check them out if you're interested. Not so sweet potatoes, I'm going to cut them into wedges. This week, I do feel like some good starches. I'm going to use celery salt here. Herbes de Provence. Adding the garlic powder, arranging the pieces on a baking tray and sending them into a preheated oven for around 15 minutes. Tossing them halfway and sending them back into the oven for 15 more minutes or till they're brown. Keeping enough space between the wedges is essential here, and it allows for a better roast. Remember the shawarma recipe that we cooked on the channel a couple of weeks back? I'm going to do the same kind of marinade but with portobello mushrooms. Very meaty, like the texture is something else. Just like that. 1 cup of plant yogurt. This is almond yogurt, garlic. Let's throw this into the yogurt. Sumac, 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon curry powder. 1 teaspoon smoked paprika. 1 teaspoon of cumin. Salt. Squeeze half a lemon in and give it an acidity test. Adjust if needed. Cover the mushrooms evenly and allow to marinate for around 10 minutes before you send them into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius, 390 Fahrenheit, and it should take around 15 minutes or till the mushrooms are dehydrated and brown. It's going to depend on your oven. Grain of choice is quinoa. 1 part quinoa to 2 parts of water. Cook at fast simmer or under high pressure in a pressure cooker for around 13 minutes.
So that is all that we've pre-cooked. However, there are still some things that I do prefer to keep fresh. Those are fruits. I also do keep some fresh cucumbers and tomatoes. I keep my tomatoes outside of my fridge because this way I find that they do preserve the flavor way better. I do prefer to get the fresh herbs whenever I'm cutting a salad like tabbouleh. The whole rolled oats, I do them as overnight oats. I cook them in the pressure cooker, and as well as that, I do add some oats into my chia seed pudding. Speaking of the chia seed pudding, you would need to have some chia seeds, and those are mine. When I'm eating a chia seed pudding with 4 to 6 tablespoons of chia seeds, I hit my iron requirements pretty fast. Chia seeds are loaded with iron, and they're also quite high in protein. I don't have my favorite pulse-in pea protein right now because they ran out of it at the local store where I purchased it. However, I do highly recommend that one. It has a really nice breakdown of amino acids that you're consuming with it, and it's also giving you a boost of iron. And here are some other meal prep and batch cooking videos which you may find useful. I hope this helps on your plant-based journey. Let me know what you think, and I see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye.